Grow a Garden has been falling off for quite some time, due to recent updates and chat restrictions making socializing more difficult, along with trading. That's why today we're trying to knock off or similar games to Grow a Garden, each for 30 minutes, rating them and seeing if any are better than the original. The first game we start off with is Super Forest. We start off in a tutorial learning where to buy your stuff. I got a tree and a plot. I placed the plot and then the tree, completing the tutorial, buying more stuff, and then searching around. There's small shops like in Grow a Garden, similar to hardware. The difference is these are way more expensive and I think they look a lot better. I also go to a waterfall where I end up looking like an idiot because I thought there'd be a secret room or item behind there. I continue to expand my forest, hoping to make it almost as aesthetically pleasing as the other people's. And with all the money I've been making, I switched to mud plots to have that 25% boost. I spend a lot of time AFKing to get more cherries and orbs. The cherries I have to sell though. I use the new funds to upgrade water tiles, and I find out there's a mechanic that allows you to change the height of the tile, and it does cost money. And I also get 2 new tiles of enchanted grass, which I got from the daily rewards, and then I continue grinding. I also end up trying some of the items later, especially the small clouds. Their boosts are quite useful, but sadly I can't stack up multiple of them. Also, the new tree I got drops mushrooms instead of cherries or orbs, which is cool. And that's roughly it for the game. Amazing graphics. I think the tiles were innovative. Give it a 8 out of 10. The second game we're playing has 11,000 active players, and it's Build a Zoo. To start off, I get an egg and place it down. Hatching only took a few seconds. I noticed that I have to walk over the pet to actually get the money, similar to most brain rot games, and I grind for a while getting a large amount of pets. To help me out, some random guy gave me some eggs. After I place them down, I get off so I don't have to spend the entire period waiting. And when I get back on, I explore, selling some of my old pets and buying fruits for this new fatty that I can build up. I also find this new electric mutation on an egg I haven't seen before, and I upgrade my conveyor to get better stuff. And since I'm bored, I spend some time looking through all the UI things, including a pet album that shows me all the pets I can get from certain eggs. I spend a while harvesting money for my pets, and then I buy a pedestal for my eggs, which I think makes it go by faster. The next step in this game was to buy the Epic Conveyor, which not only upgraded the egg drops, it also unlocked this beach fishing area, which allowed me to get more eggs faster, and most of all, it provided a fun mini game to do when I was extremely bored from the repetition of this game. The rest of the time I spent playing the game was quite repetitive, spending lots of it collecting money, fishing, and AFKing waiting for some decent eggs to come by. And I was able to get a decent one, the Hyper Egg, which someone gave to me earlier, and it showed that I got quite far in my zoo. This game was pretty repetitive and got boring, even though the fishing area was fun. I give it a 6 out of 10. This third game is Grow a Fish Pond. Sadly, I'm pretty biased towards it because it used to be my favorite side game for when Grow a Garden was at its peak. As you can see, I'm quite rich, both from just looking at my money bar and from how much I sell from a single batch. So to make it more even, I'm going to start from scratch on one of my alts. The start of this game is like many others. You have to buy the lowest level thing, plant it, or in this case, place it in the pond and wait for it to grow. Then you harvest it, sell it, and get better stuff. But in this case, it's a bit different since I was able to grab the daily reward and skip a bit higher. Since it's going to take a while for the fish to grow the full size and hopefully get a mutation, I'm going to explore the map. I'm going to mainly see if there's anything new from updates that's been happening since the summer cookout update, which is around the time I stopped, and my favorite update by far. I talked to some of the NPCs too, and I noticed that these fishing rods are insanely expensive. The beach area hasn't changed much in recent updates, but what has changed majorly is the amount and types of tools now in the shop. Showing stuff like appraisal and the mega pellets got my hopes up because I used to have to use these crappy low-level worms, so I'm happy. The rest of the time I spent AFK. The game isn't too bad. It was a personal favorite. I'm a bit biased, so I'll only give it a 7 out of 10 to try and keep me more balanced. The fourth game is pretty similar to Fish Pond. It's a frog pond game, and you'll see a lot of similarity. Like the start of the game, you have to buy the lowest level egg, place it in the pond, and wait for it to grow up. You can also get mutations on it, but it's easier just to sell it right away, instead of AFKing. After getting some more eggs, I let them mutate a bit and got golden frog, which was pretty decent cash for me, and the weathers here are at least beautiful, like the snow weather. Of course, I also checked out the shops to see how expensive the future frog eggs would be. And they do get expensive unreasonably fast, but on the other side, I did get this giant golden frog worth over 20k, so I'm basically rich now. For a large portion of the game, I was exploring and trying to climb stuff. For instance, this really large tree in the server, but I suck at parkour, so I wasted about 10 minutes. I then spent the rest of the time looking at this giant golden frog and waiting for some mutations because I'm just balling like that. This game felt like a cuter version of the Fish Pond game, although it did have some new mechanics like the rebirthing stuff. I only give it a 6 out of 10. Getting close to the end of the video, we have Farm It. It's pretty similar to the other ones. You plant seeds and harvest it, except in this one, not only do you buy the plot, You also harvest the plants with your own dedicated scythe, which you can also upgrade, by the way. And it's starting off awkwardly because the first 3 minutes of the recording wasn't there. You sell to the merchant, buy stuff from him, but you know how long I've played because you can see in the inventory thing where you can also increase walk speed, backpack size, and farm size. I upgraded pretty fast to carrots. And then looks at the prices for an upgraded scythe, which is insanely expensive. Later I got some mutated stuff, but the weathers didn't really have much of an impact on the map, and I did some quests. Someone should definitely explain why this guy needs so many cucumbers. After that, I kind of upped my garden, planting more rare stuff, as well as going to the Traveler to check out what enchanted books he had. Although they are pretty useless, seeing how low the probability is, and that's 30 minutes. Honestly, I give this thing a 7 out of 10 too. I wanted to also try out Garden Horizons, but I have 0 Robux, and I heard it's a scam. The most fun game, I have to say, was Super Force due to its amazing graphics and how easy to play it was, along with the cute tools and whatnot. And sorry for the low quality, I am pretty new to this.